Environmental crimes, which grew alarmingly during the tenure of the outgoing government, will now be fought relentlessly. The first initiative is to hold a summit gathering the member countries of the Amazon Cooperation Treaty, so that Brazil, Bolivia, Colombia, Ecuador, Guyana, Peru, Suriname, and Venezuela can for the first time discuss in a sovereign way the promotion of integrated development in the region, with social inclusion and climate responsibility.
All right, for more on this story, I'm now joined by Octavio Ferraz from London. He's a professor of law at King's College London. Welcome to the programme. So we've seen there that Lula was greeted at COP like a superstar. That's what some of the headlines are saying. But can he actually deliver on these promises, do you think, of pledging to work towards zero deforestation of the Amazon rainforest? That sounds like a very big pledge. Can he deliver it, and how easy will it be to get this policy through Parliament?
So that's the great question, and the short answer is that it won't be easy. It will be very difficult, but certainly it's a hopeful time because of what happened in the past 4 years. We had the worst possible scenario for the protection of the Amazon, with environmental laws and agencies being completely dismantled, defunded, and actual incentives being given to people who want to destroy it. The three main problems in the Amazon are logging, mining, and agribusiness, and all the three thrived under the last government in the last 4 years. But we cannot forget either that in the previous Lula governments, the situation wasn't great. So it will be a change for his policies as well, and much harder to implement now after those 4 years, and especially with, as you mentioned, a Congress, which is much more conservative than it has ever been.
And you mentioned there that even during Lula's time, things weren't even great with regards to environmental law. Is that what your point was?
Yes, precisely. We know that the environmental minister who managed to control best deforestation in the Amazon, Marina Silva, left in 2008 in the middle of Lula's government because of conflict with agribusiness and other interests, which Lula's government ended up taking forward, willingly or not. But the fact is that that happened. So this time, she herself has given interviews. She was at COP27 as well, saying that there is a big change both in Lula's views and in the world view about the Amazon. So she's hopeful that the climate is much better this time round for the protection of the Amazon. But we must not forget that things weren't that great during the previous governments as well. I hope that this time is for real and that he fulfills the promises. But as I said, it's not only dependent on his will either. As I mentioned, agribusiness, for instance, is one of the worst problems, and the Congress has elected a lot of members who are supportive of agribusiness. So it will be hard to pass laws that restrict this interest and protect the Amazon, but not impossible. I think with political will, he may well, this time round, fulfill the promise. But we have to see. It's not guaranteed.
No, but he's making huge promises. He's making them internationally. And this was his first international trip there to Egypt, to COP27. And one of the fascinating things I find with all these COP events are the actual policing of these pledges and the mechanisms, if there are any at all, to make sure that when these leaders, all of them, make big pledges, that they actually do deliver. So what kind of pressure internationally will there be on Lula when he becomes, when he is president, as incoming president, I mean?
Very, very good point. One thing is to say the words, like in big events like that. The other thing is what happens on the ground. I've just come back from the Amazon last week, and I saw how completely abandoned it is at the moment to the interests of the miners, the agribusiness people, long tracks being deforested as we drove, like through the forest. So strengthening the monitoring agencies, the environmental police, is going to be a big necessity to implement those policies. And obviously, international pressure helps as well. But what really counts is what happens on the ground there with their own Brazilian police and monitoring agencies. We did that in the past. During Marina Silva's ministry, we managed to reduce deforestation by 87% without international help. So it's down to us now in Brazil to do that, but obviously international pressure and help through the Amazon Fund, for instance, Norway and Germany's money will help a lot as well, but it's mostly down to us and to political will. That's why these speeches are also so important. For the first time, I've seen Lula being so forefront with his promises about the environment, something that didn't happen in his past two mandates in government.
Octavio, fantastic to speak to you. Octavio Ferraz, live there from London, Professor of Law at King's College London. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.